Hi guys, this is Alex, and I'm coming to you with an exciting video. And it's gonna be a short one, but it's exciting because today is the eve of my half marathon. Yes, it has finally come, and I'm so excited. And look what I just got. Ta-da! I'm so excited. My little runner number. And then I also got the runner shirt. It says Carrie Greenway Half Marathon. I'm so excited. And, I am so incredibly excited and so you can see. A lot of emotions are, running through me. This was a long journey trying to train for this. I got injured a couple times, and I say a couple times because back in the end of Thanksgiving and Christmas, I tore a muscle right under here. And then this was borderline tragic because it could have taken me out of the race, being how close the race is. But 3 weeks ago, in fact, it was 3 weeks ago yesterday, I tore my hamstring. Luckily, it's just a grade 1 tear. Or pull, but technically pull is same thing as a tear. And there's 3 grades of it. Grade 1 is pretty much small fibers, like a deep bruise. Grade 2, which I have a combination actually of a 1 and 2. There's a pectoris, I think that's what it's called. It's a muscle right underneath your butt cheek, pretty much, where the base of the hamstring connects. So in there, it's still very tender. So that was the worst one of the 2. And also just the hamstring, mid hamstring, and it's on my left leg and to my knee, and like it got bruised and everything. It was very bad. That was 3 weeks ago, and it kind of messed me up because at this stage of the training, the last weeks are pretty much in long distance, and so and just working on endurance. Luckily for me, the week before I got hurt, and I don't know if it was coincidence, but I don't know if it was just, I don't know. It was just crazy. But the week before I got hurt, I decided to do a practice run, full half marathon run. And I did it in it was just over 2 hours. It was like 2:02, 2:03, something like that. 2 hours and 3 minutes, something like that. And it was wonderful. It was like on cruise control. My body knew exactly what to do. My breathing, everything was working on point, and it was just fantastic. And then the following week, there's 3 of us in my team, and my coworkers, and so every Friday we started going together and running together, training that day. So as a group. And so, because it's different when you train by yourself and, when you run with people. When you run with people, you have to, and a lot of people don't know this unless you run, but you almost have to focus on everything that you've trained for as far as your pace, rhythm of your run, everything, breathing. Because when you throw other people in there, everybody runs different, and you'll be surprised and amazed how fast that can throw you off, your rhythm off, your pace off, because unconsciously you start to follow people or try to keep up, not without even thinking it. And before you know it, you may either go too fast or too slow, so it kind of messes with you a little bit. So you have to really be focused and on point. So we decided as a group to train every week together. And then all the other days, we trained separately. We also did cycling on Mondays as a group. And that would be our other, because you always have to do other things between running just to work other muscles. And so our other was hardcore cycling. And yeah, so the week after, which was 3 Fridays ago, I didn't even get hurt running, which is insane. ironically, I got hurt stretching, but it was kind of a freak accident. I slipped during a stretch and my hamstring popped. And oh my God, that was incredibly painful where I had tears coming out my eyes. That's how painful it was. And so I knew when it happened, it was crazy because like the look in my face was like, okay, because I felt the pop and I felt the pain. And the pain came about a minute or so when things started to kind of register that something happened. Um, and and then it was so painful, but my body was like, okay, or me, I should say me, not my body, but me. I was like, there's no way this is happening. Mm-mm. So I decided to, kind of get up and kind of move around. And, the more I try to move my left leg, the more intense that pain was. It almost felt like my foot, like my leg was out of place kind of thing. And just let me go into detail of what happened. So when I was young, I did what I call backyard gymnastics. So I did gymnastics. And so I used to do a lot. And the reason I say backyard gymnastics was because I never went to the gym to do anything. Everything was in my backyard. So that's why I call it backyard gymnastics. And so, but, I was very flexible. I did the splits. I did backflips, back tucks. I mean, any flip you can think of, I did. And so I was very flexible, very agile. And even as I got older, I retained flexibility. Well, of course I'm not going to sit here and just do splits just because, right? So, you can't sit here, even though you've done them when you were young, you can't just sit here and say, oh, I'm going to do a split today, boom, and just do it. It doesn't work that way. And so I was doing a runner's pose to stretch my hamstrings, and I was on gravel, and it was like it wasn't just gravel, it had like the parking in the trail that we ran. The trail is asphalt, so it's very smooth, but the parking where where you park your car, is gravel and sand. And so we were stretching there, and my foot slipped, and I went into a full split because my right leg was already fully extended. My right leg was kind of bent, but very forward. And so to get a better stretch to your hamstring, what you do is you kind of straighten your leg out a little bit and kind of hold it, and you get a real good stretch. You learn that in yoga. And my foot slipped, and I went down, boom, all the way. And in fact, my coworker was like, Alex, oh my gosh, I didn't know you can do the split. And I guess I had this look in my face. And when I went down, I felt the pop, and you can even hear it because not only did my hamstring kind of pop, but my bone popped. And so he heard it, and he was like, I guess the look I gave him, he said, did you mean to do that? I mean, I heard a pop. And I just kind of slowly crouched down. I picked my leg up and crouched down and just started kind of doing some, kind of moving my legs back and forth. I had not felt the pain, like the crazy pain, until I got up and tried to do a first step. When I got up and then tried to do a first step, that's when it hit, and I knew. And they were like, are you okay? And I was just like, just give me a minute. And then I started to kind of shake because then the pains really start hitting me. And I knew it was the hamstring because it went all the way from the back of my thigh. It went all the way up into the base of my butt cheek where the hamstring connects to the pelvis. So I knew exactly what it was. And I said to them, I think I messed up my hamstring. And they were like, oh my gosh, well, let's see, try to maybe walk it out. Maybe it's just because it was a stretch. I said, mm-mm. So I said, well, let's do this. Let's walk a little bit, kind of move, get blood flowing, and maybe let's see. But I started to shake, and, he was like, my coworker was like, are you cold? And I said, this is pain. I'm hurting bad. So we kind of walked a little bit, and then I finally was like, you know what? I'm going to sit in this bench. I can't. Y'all need to go. Just, give me a minute. I didn't want them to, worry and stop their training. So I said, just run. I'll be fine. I'm just going to sit here for a few minutes and see how I feel. Maybe it'll, get better. But I knew it was not going to get better. And so when, they went ahead, and when I went to get up, I just could not. I was in so much pain. But by then, I have to. So I kind of wobbled all the way back to my car, and to sit back down, I felt like someone took a knife and was just slicing everything just slowly. And not even a sharp knife. It had to be like a dull knife. I mean, it was ridiculous, the amount of pain. And so I knew that was Friday. That night, I couldn't sleep one wink. Saturday, I couldn't sleep. In fact, it reminded me a lot of when I had surgery and they took me off the painkillers. And that first night home, it was very painful. Like to sit up on the bed or move to get up to go to the bathroom, I couldn't. It was excruciating pain. And to the point where I didn't sleep that whole weekend pretty much. Monday, I said, well, let me go to work. Not, I'm thinking I can suck it up. I'll take some 800 milligrams of ibuprofen and just suck it up and go. I said halfway through, I said, I can't do this. And I decided, I left and I took the whole week off. And it was just ridiculous. So, of course, I'm doing research, and I started to really do my homework as far as, what I need to do. Could I run the race? And based on the type of tear, if it was a grade 1, then yes, I could do the race still. However, not at the fast pace that I did, and much. I have to be much careful, even walk some. Of course, this half marathon is a beast because it has, on outbound, has 5 major hills. So they categorize the hills that, the inclines, and there's 5 majors. So there's 5, and then there's 2 moderate, and then 1 not so bad. And then on the way back, there's 3 major and I think 1 moderate. Super hilly course. And then, to make things even more wonderful for me, today here in North Carolina, it's a beautiful, gorgeous day. I think it's going to be in the 70s, sunny, warm. Tomorrow, race day, it's going to be cold and rainy. So we're going to go from 70s to 40s. Now, the cold doesn't bother me, or the rain, because, I've been training since October. And so I've been training not indoors, outdoors. So I'll get up at 3 in the morning, stretch, go running at 3:30. So I've ran in the freezing, the coldest I've ran in was, I think, 24 degrees. And I've also ran when it was like 34 and it was raining. So, and there's been other days where it's been in the mid to low 40s, rain. And so I knew that this can happen. And so I decided to go ahead and train so that distraction doesn't, deter me or mess me up. And I'm glad I did that. Now, the only thing that bothers me or worries me is the fact that now I'm injured a little bit. And so I don't want to slip. Now, I have friends that do triathlons. I've also spoken to folks who are marathon runners, and they've encountered the same injury. They've encountered, running with other injuries in the rain and stuff. And so I, wanted their professional, and I say professionals because some of these people are Boston marathoners. They do competitive triathlons and all this stuff. So these people know their stuff. It's a real passion of theirs. And so I said to them, do you think I can do this race? It's, at the time, with my recovery injury, which is 3 weeks. And they all said yes. Of course, they all said the same thing. Just, listen to your body. At this point in time, don't even worry about time or pace. Just worry about, making it to the end. It's okay to walk. It's okay to go slow. It's okay to take breaks. At this point, you know, because you want to do it, we know how hard it is to train so long. And so they understood, you know, my other friends who don't run and stuff, you know, they're like, don't do it. Don't run, don't this and that. But see, they understand, my runner friends, they understand what it is to commit so much. And I'm not stupid either. I knew if my body was real bad, I wasn't gonna do it. So if I'm doing this race, it's because I'm confident in the fact that my recovery is amazing. I already did 4 miles this past Monday, 2 miles the Sunday, and a mile this last Saturday. You know, those are my first runs after the injury, and I did okay. The 4 miles were a little iffy, but my muscles, now that they're healed, my hamstrings and my other muscles, they're super tight. And so I ordered a therapy roller to help release the tension and stretch and all that. And one of the things that I read was that if you're able to do your stretches, where, for example, I can straighten my legs and touch my toes. Like I can bend down all the way on the floor. I can do it standing up, but also on the floor. You know, I'm very flexible, like I mentioned. So I can straighten my knees on the floor and reach down and grab both of my feet. So obviously that's a great indication that everything is healed up and I have no pain, just tightness, which is expected. Because, you know, I've pretty much laid off everything because I had to. I couldn't do it. And so I'm kind of rambling, I feel. And so I am now, you know, I got the little jitters. So if y'all can help, you know, keep me in prayer, help me pray that all goes well. And that, you know, I can just make it. Look, I told my wife, Erica, I said, honey, if you see me collapse right before that finish line, I need you to have a rope tied around my ankles and drag my butt across that finish line, because I am going to do it. I'm going to pass this finish line. I'm going to get my medal. And so I don't care what it takes. I don't care if I have to jump on somebody's back. I'm going to do this. And so I've worked way too hard, and no injury, nothing is going to stop me. Nothing. In the name of Jesus, that is. And so I'm so excited to share with you guys. I didn't mean this video to be so long, so I hope I can upload it. But so yes, tomorrow after the race is done, depending on how I feel, I will go ahead and make a video afterwards to share my experience and everything. And yes, so thank you so much for following me, supporting me, and just keep me in prayer, okay? Keep me in prayer, guys. Love y'all. Bye.